So I just got done watching Invincible Season 3, and I think a lot of us can say after Season 2, which I found to still be good, but like on rewatch, I've really found that season to be a little bit of a jumbled mess. Like it's still fun, it's still entertaining, but it felt like it had so much going on in it, so many things to set up, and I feel like a lot of TV shows hindered themselves on that within Seasons 2, but then they usually start to come back on a Season 3. So I was very intrigued to see what Invincible Season 3 was going to be able to accomplish. And from just watching the first 6 episodes, which is what Amazon supplied to press the review, I can say, yeah, it's back. It's better than Season 2. I still don't think it's as great as Season 1 because Season 1 made me go run out and buy every single one of the comics and read up to date to just see what was going to happen because I was craving Invincible so much. Season 3 kind of brought back that same feeling for me, and I'm so excited to see what Episode 7 and Episode 8 have entail for us. Plus, no mid-season break this time. All of you that start watching day one when it starts going on, you don't have to worry about waiting weeks. You just get them week to week. I think it'll be cool because almost each and every one of these episodes end in a nice cliffhanger-wise, or maybe even have an awesome end credit scene, some very long where you're just like, okay, I need to see where this is going next. Kind of starts off with Season 3 being a big change for Mark as he's forced to face his past and his future while discovering how much further he'll need to go to protect the people he loves. And that's where this kind of goes. And now with this, Amazon is very strict with what I can say. They ask that we stay very vague in our reviews. So some of this may be me kind of running around circles kind of to explain what I feel, but overall, you know what to expect from Invincible on some of the good aspects, which is, of course, the voice acting. Steven Yeun is amazing as Mark Grayson. I think he just continues to play this character to such a high degree. I think Sandra Oh is fantastic as his mom. Gillian Jacobs, for me, is a very shining light as Adam Eve, and I think Adam only continues to become one of the best characters in this show. Goggins is, of course, great as Cecile. Shout out to Rex Splodin. This season, I think they did a really cool job with his storyline. The same thing goes for Mark's brother in here, who I don't know off the top of my head who is voicing him, but he is really good. And that's actually one of the things that I was so interested in, was to see that dynamic between two brothers and two who have different parallels and viewpoints on their father. And to see the brotherly dynamic in here, I think is actually one of the strongest cases and the strongest pieces for this show. And in particular, I remember in the comics, I didn't really love that entire storyline, but I have to say in the show, it's winning me over a little bit more. And as close as it is to interpretation, there are little subtle changes that do impress me to how they're going, which is again what they did in season 1. The subtle changes work and the things they keep work. And I'm really happy to see that kind of all furthering out right here. And again, that really does go to the family dynamic. For me, one of the things that I was really interested in was to see how much time they may rely on certain things. Of course, from what the trailer shows, you see a little bit of a dynamic shift between Mark and Cecile. I like, and I'll say this, the show gets pretty fast into that. I liked how that showcased, as well as some of the changes just going in for him. And a massive thing that all of us have been waiting for is stuff of between Mark and Adam. How are they going to handle that all? I think it's all handled in a really much almost perfect manner. Again, to the point where I found that this season felt the most mature in tone, and not just within the gore and the blood and the guts, but in particularly the storytelling devices. And I think one of the episodes in particular, they do these really nice soft openings. And there's this really fantastic opening episode where it shows two people and they are committing a crime, and how that changes and shifts throughout the story. I'll leave it at that, but I found that opening and that setup for the rest of the episode was one of the strongest things possible. And again, it all ties back to Mark and his brother, even Mark and Adam. And those are, for me, my favorite aspects of this season. I love how they handled both of those. And again, I have to stay vague, there's things I want to talk about, but I think it's great, as well as the adventure that it kind of places around. And even though, again, it feels like, oh, we're coming back to this PowerPoint, oh, we're coming back to this villain, oh, we're coming back to this story plot, oh, we're coming back to this, it never feels like all over the place like I felt within season 2. It feels fine-tuned, it feels finite. And even then, when you're enjoying one thing and, oh my god, then this thing happens and it throws Mark through the ringer, it again doesn't take away from that moment, where some shows may never go back to that. It never felt like it took away from it. And that's where, again, I'm appreciative of how mature these characters are and how mature I felt the writing was genuinely in this season, and how it actually did take some of these more serious and emotional moments just as strong as it needed to. And there's a lot of big setup, a lot of things that happen in here where, again, it doesn't just feel like setup, it is enjoyable for what it is. So season 3 of Invincible really impressed me. Again, voice acting's good. The animation is what it is. I enjoy it for what it is. I wish they went a little bit stronger, gave a higher budget to it, but I come to Invincible for the storytelling, to see how they're going to adapt one of my favorite comic books of all time, and I think they're doing a fantastic job with that. So with all that said, I'm going to give the first 6 episodes of Invincible Season 3 an A. Now, that could change. That could change. Episodes 7 and 8 could be complete trash and garbage. I could be so pissed off at them, and I could just be like, wow, that ruined the season. And if it is, I'll do a follow-up video. If it's not, my rating stands, and I'm excited to see the rest. So thank you guys so much again for watching this. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, comment down below your guys' thoughts. Sorry I had to be vague. So when you guys actually see the episodes and you come back to this video, leave your spoiler thoughts down below, and we'll have that great discussion. But, of course, until next time, stay classy.